Happy Christmas, everybody! We're here. I do like those credits. Well, as usual, everything's going in the background. Mrs. Cruncher, as you can see, has been very busy. Got me out on. Let's turn that down a bit because you won't be able to hear anything else. The volume pot's gone. Oh dear. There we are. It's our little Christmas scene, look. So who we got in? We got Mike. Well, I think we had Simon's World up on top, and he got knocked off, and Michael's in. Aston, stick me up here. Still here. Aston, thank you very much, mate. Matambo, good afternoon or morning. Daniel, Daniel's only just leaving work. I should still be here by the time you get back, Daniel. Depends what the traffic's like, innit? Theo, straight in with the first super chat of the month. £2 worth of Christmas cheer. Brilliant. Brett, Thursday mess. Oh, it's the 1st of December. It's got to be Christmas now, surely. Surely it's legal to play Christmas music and put decorations up now. Still catching up with the chat. Afternoon, Rob, or evening. Evening, Phil Taylor. How are you? Rob Cross says. Nick, Patronics. Hi, Nick. Cold, yeah. I took the dogs out earlier. It was blimmin' cold. Rob saying it's a change for a live stream on a Thursday. Well, it's going to be every day now, Rob. Trouble is, when it finishes, everybody wants it, doesn't want it to stop. Hang on, things are jumping so quick here. Alan Reed, good afternoon, Alan. Simon, for the heating bill. It's for the battery bill, Simon. We're using so many batteries. I bought Mrs. Cruncher 100 batteries the other day. She's used them all. And she's now into my rechargeable stash. She got about 25 rechargeables on the go as well at the moment. So I've had to order another 200 batteries for her. Mental. Mac Vision, how are you? RFM3, that's how it all began. Yeah, my favourite little radios, really. Well, they're not my favourite little radios, but they're my favourite little FM radio anyway. I do like the RFM3. Every time I get them, I mean, they just literally go out the door straight away, pretty much. They don't hang around for long. Derek, how are you, mate? First of the 24 streams, definitely. More chicken for Benji. Rolf, you logged on at exactly the right moment. Mac Vision, thank you very much, mate. Harvey's in. Hi, Harvey. Stream Elements. It's definitely Christmas, Matambo. Rob Cross, thank you, mate. Mick McGinn, hi Mick. Doug, how are you, mate? How's Doug over there? Pat Jones, hi Pat. Barry Charnley. Okay, I think I'm nearly up. I think I'm nearly up with everyone. Gerard, hi Gerard. Playing Heart Christmas at work today. Much to the strain of it. Yeah, we've had it on here for the dogs. They don't like going in the lounge anymore now. Alexa's on mute. Thank you, Benji. Alexa alert. So yes, we've got a couple RFM3s, 2 RFM3s. I didn't tell you that, did I? So who was asking? Gerald was asking if it's a Mark 1 or a Mark 2. I don't know yet. I think I may have one of each. I'm not 100% sure. Mavis, you'd be bringing mince pies. I'll have some of them and some clotted cream on top. Mavis, please. Can thank the real Father Christmas a very long time ago. What, for the hat? Well, somebody's very patiently waiting over here. Somebody's very patiently waiting. Do we know who that is? Do we know who's waiting for his entrance, his grand entrance? Mark J, good afternoon, Mark. Thanks, Derek. So who's in the wings waiting, do you think? Could it be this little chap? Penguin! Ha ha! He's back! Penguin's back! Penguin is back. There he is. Hi, Penguin! Sort off! Okay, no need for that. GT Jeff, how are you, Jeff? Well, I've got one with a white one and one with a red one, Gerard. So I think we got one of each. So, I've gone. As you know, Penguin picks me out a beer every day. So this is my beer advent calendar, courtesy of Mrs. Cruncher, who has, out of her own pocket, filled this up for me. So thank you very much, Mrs. Cruncher. I've got to go now and get number one out. So let me see if I can get over there without knocking Penguin over and his camera, the Penguin cam. Oh, hello. There's one in there. Oh, hello. That's too big. It won't come out the hole. Mrs. Cruncher. Oh, Christ. Is that a bottle of wine or something? Ooh, oh. What do you think, Penguin? Any good? A winter's ale. Oh. Let's get Penguin a glass a minute, shall we? No, it's mine. It's mine. Dear, oh dear. Right, let's move a few things around. Let's move a few things around and we'll get some. We'll get back in. So we've got a winter's ale. Never heard of that. Now, Mrs. Cruncher did say she bought me a lot this year that she didn't think I'd ever had, and I certainly have had this. Rhymney. Never heard of that. A winter's ale. 4.5%. Dark. Bible black. Oh, dark Bible black. Robust coffee. Chocolate notes. To bring a little sunshine and warmth to our winters, like a fire in a room on a cold day. Never heard of that one before. Sounds good to me, though. Sounds good to me. Let's put it down. Let's get it in. Craig, how are you? Yeah, well, you got to. Milwaukee. Sunny and below freezing. It's pretty cold here today. It's been sunny, though. So let's get this in the mug. You have a good friend that works. Oh, of course, Milwaukee Power Tools. Yes. I don't think we see a lot of them over here, do we? But I know a lot of the American YouTubers I watch use Milwaukee tools. Actually, do Screwfix do those? I can't remember now. Hope you get a good discount though, Craig. That's the main thing. Afternoon, Colin. Well, still got a bit left in the bottle there. It's got good head on it. So cheers, everybody. Merry Christmas. Going in. Glug, glug, glug. A fart in a wind tunnel. What's that, Harvey? You have a weed trimmer that blows the doors off a gas trimmer. Yeah. Well, hopefully you caught up in the evening, Brat. So you might be about this year. Good to see you on, mate, anyway. So that's the first of the Advent calendars. That's number 1. I've got 4 Advent calendars to open. So this one's a present from Mrs. Cruncher. The next one I've got is a present from Ben and his good lady. I think it's Sandra. Apologies if it's not, but I've got a Haynes Advent calendar radio that Ben very kindly sent me on my birthday. So we've got a Haynes Advent calendar radio as well to open up. So these streams are so much for my like 1 hour stream, innit? Does that ever happen? I don't think it ever happens, does it? A Milwaukee weed whacker. Say that when you've had a few. Cruncher's Christmas spirit. Well, we've got number 1, look. Let's have them open and see what's in it. So I'll do 2 at the start and I'll do the other 2 at the end. So I've got another 2 Advent calendars to do yet. Okay. And we have a green LED. A green LED. So let's get the book of words that comes with this. I see we've got a nice little cutout case for it. Hopefully Ben will be in at some stage. He might be working. So we've got a nice little cut and fold case for it. And we've got a big book of words. Lots and lots of books of words. So this tells us pretty much what's happening every day. And it's got a big write-up. Okay. So it says all about LEDs. So it says to try it on a 9-volt battery. LED will light up. When you turn it round, it will go out. So let's do that. So every day there's a new piece to this radio, and eventually you get the whole thing. So let's just get the camera in. Stay there. Let's get the overhead camera on. You can have a look. See what it says. So thank you very much to Ben. And I think it's Sandra. I'll have to look it up when that's a bit naughty of me. I should have looked that up first, really. So this just tells us a little bit about the LED. It's got a little circuit there, so it says to get a 9-volt battery, which we'll do. Let's do it bit by bit. Afternoon, Les. SP80 wood grain, yeah, could well be. So basically says the long leg is a positive and the short leg is a negative. So if we touch it against those, it should light up. Whee! That's actually quite a bright LED, look. It's probably because it's got 9 volts on it. So yeah, so it says on the anode side there is a small block. This is the integrated 1K resistor, eh? I don't think there's an integrated resistor in there, is there? So there you are. It says a regular LED must never be held directly on a battery because this can overload and destroy the LED. However, doing this is possible with this special LED. Wow, that's interesting, isn't it? I didn't know they did an LED with a built-in resistor. Interesting. 3 times voltage lights them up good. So he does. They're in flashing LEDs, are they, Ivy? I mean, I can't see an integrated resistor in this. It just looks like a normal diode junction inside there to me. You know, a normal LED junction. Let's go in a bit closer. It looks like a normal LED to me. Well, if they say it is, then it is. So there you are. Apparently it's got a built-in resistor. On the anode side there is a small block. Okay. Microscope time. A current limiting resistors built into the package, is it? Microscope. I've got the microscopes buried over there. This is about as close as I can get to it on the overhead camera. I suppose maybe one of the junctions does look a bit bigger than normal. Let me see if I can get down. What's the closest I can get to this thing? Let's say this is not a microscope, this is a document reader, so it's gone a bit grainy there. Yeah, that's about as big as I can get on. If you're watching on a telly, that's absolutely massive. Yeah, you can sort of see the 2 junctions there. Oh, I suppose I could test if it's 1K, couldn't I? Would it? Won't measure though, will it? Until it's energized. Let's have a look. See if it measures anything on the multimeter. No, it's not measuring anything because there's no current flowing in it, I suppose. But well, there we are anyway. Our first piece of the Haynes Advent Calendar. I'm going to have to find a little tub to put these bits in, aren't I? There we go. This will do for now. That'll do for now. It's got a hole in it, which probably isn't good, but that's where we keep them. There we are. So that's the Haynes Advent Calendar opened. Let's put that to one side. Whew. I'm going to have to take this hat off because my head is boiling hot now. Whew. That's better. Whew. I think it gets a little bit into that the further we go on, Nick. I think it gives us a battery clip and then other bits to add into the circuits and testing it on the way. That's a nice drop of beer, that. So thank you very much, Mrs. Cruncher. I don't know whether she's watching or not. She might be. I know, it doesn't seem long ago, does it really? Anyway, let's have a look at what I've got here then. So I've got one RFM3. And I've got two RFM3s. Now this one, as you can see, is as it arrived. I've not opened this. This one I have opened and unpacked it because I didn't know what it was at the time. This one's not even unpacked yet, so let's open it up. Now these I've just bought in with my Patreon money for the live streams. Hopefully be able to do them up and sell them on. So if anybody wants a fully sorted RFM3, hopefully. Sorry about the noise. Right, so these are definitely different. This one looks like it's been given a bit of a hard life. We've got a dent in the grill in the centre there. It's not too bad. It's right on the speaker as well, so we can get the speaker out and probably push that out. The stripes look a bit naff. So anyway, why is this one of my favourite radios? Well, it's the size. It's tiny, really, and to have FM in it, I mean, it's not like a pocket radio, is it? But if you think about the other Roberts radios in the range, I mean, this would have been out. I'm trying to think of the dates on these now. Are these about late 70s, early 80s? Are these? I can't remember now. I should have looked up the date, shouldn't I? A video LAN. Sorry, mate, but you put all capital letters and the bot just kills it. It's not overdoing it, Paul. People type in caps, it blocks it if there's more than so many. So apologies, Video Lamb, but you'll be back in a couple minutes, mate. Nathan, how are you? I think it's Nathan, isn't it? Or is it Levy? I think it's Nathan, isn't it? How you doing, mate? An evening to you, Paul. Cyberflyer, hello, Cyber. So, yeah, as you can see, we've got a white pointer on this one, and we've got a red pointer on this one. You can't really see that, can you? But trust me, this one's got a red one and this one's got a white one. So usually the white ones are the later ones. Now this one's had a very hard life. It's been beaten up. I mean, it's got the leatherette handle rather than a solid handle. I don't know which one I prefer, really. I like them both, really. So other ways you can tell them, the text is very slightly different on the two. So you've got a blockier text on the newer one. It's more of a bold font rather than a standard. But yeah, this one's got the top missing off the aerial. Well, it's got most of the aerial missing. It's got a missing top to the push button there. And I've just noticed it's laughing a bit on the side, like, Merry Christmas! Merry Christmas from Mr. RFM3! So yeah, that one needs a bit of cosmetic work. We've got a nice big dent in the top of the pot there. Top of the pot. Anyway, I don't know if they're working. One other thing, sometimes they've got a different piece on here, but these are both plastic. But some of the earlier ones had metal. So let's have a look. Let's have a look at this one first. Oh, I've got one of Simon's batteries in there, look. So let's turn that off for a minute. I'll turn it down. I've got to remember how to turn it off now. Oh, it's got to go loud to turn it off. So I've got battery in it, and we've got a nice captive washer hanging off the speaker. Plastic speaker. Not a fan of plastic speakers really, but these don't sound too bad. They don't sound too bad. So being that we've got a battery, and we better try it, I suppose, don't we? Oh, serial number on this one is, yeah, okay. So it's 10,615. I believe the Mark II came in from 22,001. So this is definitely a Mark I. So let's give it a whirl. It works. Aerial's good as well.
Yeah, I had to go and get some medication.
Oh,
so I went
it
down,
works.
And on the way back, I stopped at Lidl.
George, how are you, mate?
I'm 72. I'm not very well at the moment either. I bought 6 litres of water. I bought 2 litres home myself, and then the 4 litres are in the boot of the car. But they say that they were out digging up roads. There's no one digging roads up in Stoke Fleming at the moment.
This is, I guess, the frustrating thing for you. If you knew what the problem was, if you knew that it was being worked,
Paddy, how you doing?
Perhaps have a bit of an idea.
Give it a wipe.
Well, yeah,
you know it needs cleaning, Benji, don't you?
That's funny, but last Thursday we had no electricity here in the village. 10 hours. I was thinking, what's going to happen next Thursday?
Bit of a scratchy volume pot. Not too bad.
Any reasonable information. They're not.
But they're not bad sounding little radios, these.
Reigate, that's after a lorry fire, but all lanes are now.
Yeah, my partner looked about half hour.
That cuts through any encryption like
it enables us to actually be able to play live.
Medium wave. Oh, hello. Dodgy buttons. There he goes, he's on. It's picking up everything in here. All the lights. Working. Long wave. It works. Would you believe it? The grill on this one is absolutely brilliant. I mean, look, there's no issues with that. That's bang on. I've got a little bit of touching up to do on it, but not a lot. Dial plate looks pretty good. Needs a good clean. Knobs are good. All the buttons are there. Handle's got a little bit of corrosion creeping into it. This little aluminium strip, but that's not uncommon. Grill is all right on the back. We've got some ceremonial paint splatter on the back, which is always good, isn't it? So that one just needs a bit of a service, I think, and a clean-up. Ideal. This one, though, this is a different beast altogether, isn't it? This one is different altogether. Let's just catch up with a chat while I'm having me winter's ale. Mr. Laser Sound, how are you? If you've missed Penguin, you have George. I'll send you a picture of him, look. I'll send you a signed portrait of Penguin. A Rambler 2 with extra components, yeah. Yeah, the cases are identical, aren't they? You can just stick one straight in another one. But yeah, nice little radios though. Very nice little radio. So say, I'll put my hand in front of it, you can see it is pretty small. And it does give out quite a good sound. So this one is a Mark II. So again, we've got the plastic speaker. I thought the early ones had a metal speaker, but I may be wrong. It's a long time since I've done one of these. And this one, has this one been messed with? Got some caps in the... Yeah, I don't think it's been messed with. I wonder if this one's working then. Because one of the problems with these radios is the power socket on the end. It's got 9 volts center pin negative. Now, a lot of power supplies are center pin positive. So people get these, they get a power supply. They, oh, that fits in the hole. I'll stick it in there. I'll turn it on, and all of a sudden the radio's dead. Doesn't work at all because they've taken out the main IC inside it. TA 1220B, a TDA 1220B. So I've had a few of these that I've had to change those chips on. As I say, unfortunately the case is coming apart, but as I said with the Roberts R606 the other day, they're just stapled together. Just a nail gun, I think, this particular one. So I'm going to have to probably cut those nails off. If I can squeeze it back in, I might be able to, but I'll need to put some glue in there. Let's just show you that a bit closer. Closer. So where are we? Yeah, see that? You can see the nails there. So it's had a bit of a whack. I don't know if that's happened in transit or not, but I bought it as spares or repair, so I'm not overly worried about that. You can see it's come away right on the edge there. So that will go back together pretty easy. Aerial. I need to dig my aerial stash out to see if I've got one. I think I've got an RFM3 aerial. This just looks really grubby. It looks a bit unloved, really, I suppose is the word. I think what I'll do then is I'll get the power supply. So I've got it hooked up, 9 volts. I can only just get to the power supply. Mrs. Cruncher's done a good job on this one. Right, let's turn it off. This is another one of these untested. How can they not test it? Well, I suppose they can't be bothered to buy a PP9 battery. Right, well, this is going to be a bit of a disappointment if this one works as well, isn't it? Because we won't have nothing to fix, but, you know. Let's go VHF. What do you know? That's 2 workers. Oh, scratchy.
Nicholas Ward and Louis.
On the 377 through. And on the train.
Inch has the perfect sound.
So I think it's scratchy because someone's left it on Classic FM permanently, because that's where it's scratchy.
This
weekend, World Duet champion and comedy legend Bill Bailey as he shares his passion for classical music.
What I loved about the 48 Preludes and Fugues, I love the fact that something so beautiful, something so extraordinarily written and so intuitive and so challenging was written just to teach.
Duet me.
Well, there you are. It works. Okay, that's the end of the stream then. Not. Don't worry. There's plenty to do. This one's going to need some more major works, isn't it? George is saying ratchet strap it. I could do, but I've got some pretty hefty clamps. I need to pop it out of the case and have a look at this one. So I think we'll do that. We'll pop this one out of the case first. And just have a look, see if that's easy enough to glue back or not. So these are easy enough to get out of the case. Very easy radio to work on, really. There's not a lot to them. 2 screws, one there. Let's get a little tub to put them in. One there. One there. Undo the aerial. Pull off the speaker wires. So I have done a few videos on these over the years, so if you're interested, there's a lot of videos on there. I need to undo these 2 screws as well. Get the power supply undone, the power supply socket. Yes, how are you? Hello, Jess. It should come off now. We'll leave the little plastic bezel on there if it don't want to come off. So it should now push out from the top. Hey, that's it. Well, that is it. So this being an earlier one, it's got 2 ICs in it. Yeah, the case is let go all the way up, look. Sausages! Can I line it up and get it back in? Yeah, I'm not sure. It looks like it's been forced downwards. You can see, well, I think you can see the nails. It looks like it's been hit with a nail gun. So there's 2 at the top and 1 at the bottom. Yeah, that'll go back easy enough. Okay, so that's not too much of an issue. I'm going to have just squashed it back a little bit there. So that should come up okay. I'll get that done tomorrow. We can have a look at it all finished. Maybe. As I say, there's not much to these because they got the ICs in them. So there's not really a lot to go wrong apart from the chip that gets popped, which is usually this one here. This is a TFK. I think that means Telefunken, doesn't it? TFK. I know there's three. There is, sorry, this is the newer one. There's 3 ICs in this one because there's another one hiding underneath. You can just about see it. I believe that's the front end IC. And then we got this one, which I believe is the audio IC. And this is the one that does everything pretty much. That's the IF for FM and AM in that chip. So say there isn't really any transistors in it. It's all done by ICs. Let's get that aerial out because that's pretty poorly, that one. Come on. Tell me you want to go downwards, not upwards. Yeah, there's a tight fit in the thing, that one's got to go down then. So the good old manky side trims. Knobs off. That's the inside. Now that's looking pretty rough. What you can do with these, and what I'll probably do with this, you can see how dark and dingy that is, can't you? You probably see it a bit better under the overhead camera. That is pretty murky, that. But what we can do is, with some isopropyl, we can release it, clean off the double-sided tape from underneath, and flip it over. So you've got then a brand new, nice, clean dial on it. I have got a spare top, so no problem there. I'm going to have a look in a minute for aerial, or an aerial. Switch bank. Very little to align in here. I mean, it's got a ceramic filter for FM, 10.7 filter. So it's really not a lot to them. I mean, we've only got 3 alignment points, and you've got a trimmer for probably long wave. Anyway, let's get the manual up, because this is the early one. Much easier to understand than a NI person. Right, Mr. Cody has sent me something. Catch you later, Paul. Just got to sign into Messenger, because for some reason it's signed me out of Messenger for some reason. I do not know why. So I must be logged in, and then it's going to say that I've entered an old password, because I can't remember my blimmin' password. Yeah, that's a bit strange. Sign in with phone or email. I can't remember my password for Messenger on here. What's going on with this? I was on Messenger earlier. Let's have a look on my phone. RFM is plywood. It's not like the later ones that's made out of MDF. They're shocking to work on. So what's Mr. Cody sent me? RFM3 and Rambler schematics. Yeah. Why bother? Why didn't they just make them all FM, eh? Yeah, slightly different maybe. Different board numbers, but layout looks identical. Obviously a lot less components on the other one. On the Rambler 2. It's too much switching between trolling accounts. What the hell's a trolling account, George? What's a trolling account? I'm not sure. I don't think so, Jeff. I don't think the aerial's the same. I need to get to my aerial stash a minute and see if I've got one. The problem I got is I can't get to it because Mrs. Cruncher's filled me in here. I'm trying to think which one it would be, what they would be in. Probably the smaller one. Twang. Now, I bought some of these from Roberts Direct, but I don't know which tub they're in. I don't know if they're in this one, unless that's one there. That might be one. That might be one. Roberts don't sell these anymore. Look at that. Woohoo! Genuine Roberts aerial for an RFM3. And to be honest, that's the only reason I bought this one, because it was cheap. It was cheap. And one of the reasons it was cheap and nobody really wanted it was because it had a broken aerial. I think that case damage happened in the post, so I don't think that was done when I bought it, but, you know, just gives me more to fix, doesn't it? So there you are. We have an RFM3 aerial. Brilliant. So that's that sorted. We've got a knob top. I've got two left. Two left that I bought off of somebody selling some on eBay. That should fit on there. There we are. So we now have all the button tops, and we have a decent aerial. So it's just a clean-up job and a bit of servicing, really. So volume pots are scratchy on these. They're always left in the on position because there's, well, they're always on because you've got an on-off button on it. Thomas, welcome, mate. You think the RFM3 area was larger in diameter? Yeah, I think the top's different on the 250, isn't it? Because this has got like a like button top. I think the top on the 250s are sort of cylindrical. But Roberts don't sell them anymore. I have tried. Unfortunately, they haven't got them. So you've pretty much had it, because there's not really another aerial that will fit it that I've found. You know, there's a Chinese aerial, but that's 10 section. I think the section's too big. Let's see. I've got one here. I've got one of the Chinesium aerials. Yeah, the tip is different. Where's my Chinesium? Yeah, so this is one of these Chinese 10 section aerials, which are great for the hacker range. And I think it might do the R707 with a little spacer, and it might do the R600, but look at the difference in size. You know, so you'd have a fair bit sticking out the top of the case, which looks pretty shocking. I mean, it would work, but you had no choice. It does look pretty bad. In fact, I think that's the only RFM3 aerial I've got left. What's that one? No, that's an R600, I think. Roberts used to sell aerials for all of these. I should really have stocked right up on them, but I didn't. So, there you are. You have to contact Roberts in China to get spares now. I did ring him actually last week, George. Can you remember that R861 that I had in for repair? I rang them to see if they could get me the RF gain knob on the side, but yeah, no chance. They don't have spares anymore, and they were pretty good previously when I contacted them, because I had one without a battery door, and they managed to find me a battery door for one, but this time no. What's the exercise with radio again? Exercise with radio, Paddy? What do you mean? Welcome back, Rob. Penguin's still sat over there. He wants me to open another one, but I can't. Not till tomorrow, Penguin. You gotta wait. Right, okay. Let's see if we can give us a bit of a service then. Volume pot, we should be able to get some deoxit in there. We can wipe all the muck out from inside. It's all over the desk now. We can get this top panel off. Got to be careful of these. This is plastic, unfortunately, and you've only got to like catch it with something. It just snaps clean off. I know that because I've done it more than once. Could take it off, but then I've got to mess about fitting all the dial cord back on. It's not difficult on one of these though, but it's just a hassle. I've had these with knackered tuning, well, what they call these polyvaricon tuning caps, and they're a nightmare to get replaced. You can't really do a lot with them once they're gone. Once they're gone, they're gone. Sometimes a bit of exercising will stop it going scratchy, but it's a diddy little volume pot, isn't it? I think it's 50k. Can't remember exactly, but not great. You know, despite all its negative points, it does still sound a good little radio, and it's nice and compact. So we're going to give it a switch. No, we're not. No, we better use because it's a carbon track, we'll use fader lube. Let's give it a squirt of that down its guts. Give that a bit of a workout. Manuel, how are you, mate? Welcome. Yeah, so it does work, Paddy. Unfortunately, it just needs a bit of cosmetic love, and I say unfortunately it works. Look, I thought we were going to be changing the IC in it, but not the case, which is good because it saves a hit on my poor old pocket. It's just giving that a bit of a workaround. Now the problem with these switches, you can't really get anything in them. The only way to get anything in them is really through the little hole in here. If I go in closer. I've got a board for you as well, Manuel, so I must get that done so as you can get your lady working. Your Antoinette, isn't it? Is it not Antoinette? The Phillips. I must get that done and get that sent off to you, mate. It's your Christmas present from me. So you've got a little tiny hole there. That's about the only place, unless you the other way is to like melt a little hole in the end of each one, but that's a bit of a botch really. You should be able to get some to go in there through here. It will work its way in there. Sometimes if you've got a switch that's still a bit scratchy after you sprayed it, if you leave it overnight, it will work its way in and deoxidize it. So I've now got deoxit and Servisol all over the bench. She's patient. I haven't caught your latest videos, Manuel. Back on the old Valve radio stuff. I'm sure you're all subscribed to Manuel. If not, then you need to go and subscribe to him. Cracking channel. Well, that's that done. So we've done the volume pot, we've done those. Just a bit of muck to brush out. This is where I knock the pointer clean off. Give it a bit of a blow. And one thing you'll notice with these is all the pulleys are metal. Unusual, isn't it? You know, they've cheaped out on some stuff, but overall it's not a bad little radio. Not a bad little radio. So the idea now is to try and get this nastiness off. So no amount of cleaning will get that off. I think I've even tried sanding these, and you will not get that brown muck off of it. Whether you can bleach it or not, I don't know, but I've tried all the normal methods. I've tried foam cleaner, and as I say, I've given it a good old bit of elbow grease, and it will not come off. So normally you can start them going, but you will need a bit of deoxit. Deoxit? Isopropyl even. You missed the valves, I know. German valve radios was your thing, Manuel, really, isn't it? It is. We like to see you doing other stuff as well. Some of your build projects are very good. That valve tester was, what a lot of work that must have been. That must have taken you forever, Manuel. That's a hell of a project that was. So I'm just trying to get my fingernail in underneath it just to move it about a bit. But before we take it completely off, we need to just mark it with something as well. Let's zoom you out a little bit. We're in a bit close now. The 007, that's the one. That's the one. So I've got, hopefully, a couple boards that will get Manuel's radio working. I just need to go through them and give them the once-over, check the transistors, etc. Just make sure we're not sending Manuel up another duff board, because I think that was the issue, wasn't it, Manuel, that the main board had packed up. They got microscopic traces on the blimmin' things. Terrible design, really. You know, they got, if you've watched my videos on the R600 and 707, it's got a very similar board layout to the modules. Very fine pitch. This one ain't going to come off now, is it? Typical. Soldering on it is a night. Yeah, it is really, really. And you only got to touch it, and the trace is gone. I can see that. I haven't done any work on it yet, man. I've got two boards here. One is in pretty bad condition. I wouldn't say it's not repairable, but it's not economically repairable. So one of my subscribers sent them to me after I did the video on my Antoinette. A slightly different model, but I think it uses the same board. Let's hope it does. Right, this ain't coming off anytime soon, is it? Let's try, and normally it does come off with isopropyl. Just takes a bit of time. I don't really want to put much heat on it, but I might give it a quick tickle with the hot air station. Scare it into action. So the idea on these two radios really is to do a full restoration on both of them and then just flog them on, really. Sell them on. So if anybody's in the market for an RFM3, you'll have to let me know. It is slightly lifting, as you can see. But the idea is to just try and lift it gently. Don't bend it. If you bend it, it will never ever sit back flat again. I just stick these back with double-sided tape when I'm done. So that's what this is at the moment. You've been directing Brits to me for restorations of Grundig satellite radios. Satellite. You want to send them to me, but the customs is terrible. No worries, Manuel. I've not done a satellite for quite some time. I had a guy from Plymouth that dropped me one off, and obviously I've got quite a few radios in usually at any one time for repair, and he got a bit assy because I hadn't done it quick enough, so he come and picked it back up again. You can't please some people, can you? But you know. There we go. Now we're making inroads. Now we're getting in there. Oh. And glue is starting to loosen up. It's getting loose. You got good news for me, Rob, have you? I did have a notification from UPS. I got a parcel coming tomorrow, Rob. So is that your radio? Rob is sending me up his Hacker RP30 Herald to repair. So that will be done on the Christmas streams as well. So loads coming. Believe me, I sort of did out a list. I did 24 days, and I sort of did a rough approximation of what I've got in store for you. There's a bit of everything. I've got at least 2 or maybe 3 Volv radios. I've got a few Hackers, a couple more Roberts. I've got some cassette stuff. I've got a Dynatron Music Center, which I've had for a long time. You may have seen the speakers when I've played with other record decks. I've had the speakers out, but come on. This one's fighting to the last. I've got some retro computer stuff. I've got some Commodore 64 stuff coming up. I've also got some boards to build as well for Commodore 64. I've got some CB radio stuff. I've got a Harrier CBX that I want to get finished. I've also got a couple of those emergency type radios, one to put in Mrs. Cruncher's car and one to put in mine. Because Mrs. Cruncher's unfortunately forgot her phone a couple times and not been able to get in touch with me because she can't remember my number. Of course, we don't use phone boxes these days, do we? Catch you in a minute, Craig. Some people are not worth helping. Well, you know, end of the day, they're paying Harvey, but you know, when I tell people that it's going to be a while, I don't know what they think is a while. They think it's going to be a week, but sometimes it can run into a couple months before I can get round to their radio, depending on how many I've got in at any one time. And at the moment, I'm pretty clear. I'm picking up another radio on Sunday to look at, and I've got another one of those big Yaesu things coming. That'll be here hopefully this week. I think we're nearly there. Yeah, okay, here we go. So, as you can see, a poo brown, and if we flip it, whoa, look at that! So yeah, old, new, look at that. So, well worth peeling that off. You can see the double-sided tape stuck to the chassis there. What was the original colour of the backplate? Well, that's the original colour there. That's what it should be. And the other one's exactly the same. The thing is the sun fades it. I think I've managed to get it off without scratching it. But ideally, you want to try and get it off with this double-sided. So I've got to get this off now before I can stick it back on. I must take some pictures of Mrs. Cruncher's lights later and show you tomorrow, because she's got a fair old lighting display going on outside, the front and the back. I haven't seen the front ones yet. We only put them up today, and I'm doing a stream. I haven't been out and had a look, but hoping they'll be, well, they will look great, I'm sure, because she's done them. So Mrs. Cruncher has decorated my workbench as usual for Christmas. Goo Gone, yeah, I've lost my Goo Gone, Doug. Goo Gone is very good, but I cannot find it anywhere. So I'm going to need to get me another load of it, Doug. Goo Gone is like a citrus-based sticky label remover, and it works absolutely great. It even lifts the postage stamps. You know, the postage stamps, the self-adhesive ones. If you soak that with one of those with Goo Gone, it'll actually lift the stamp clean off, and it dries clear, so it doesn't leave any marks on the stamp, and it still leaves a sticky on the back. So if you've got any old stamps that are stuck on envelopes that haven't got any cancellation on them, then you can get them off. I didn't tell you that, did I? Goo Gone is the gear. So I just put some isopropyl on this. I'm just getting rid of the glue on the back. Got to get rid of all this. Probably shouldn't be using fingers, but Andy, how you doing, mate? Folding one. Yeah, I must catch up with your latest Volvo radio series. I've got some, I think I've got 3 lined up. I've got one, I don't know if it's tomorrow it's coming up. Or, no, I think I may have a hacker coming up tomorrow to look at. Well, to restore, hopefully. Right. I don't think it's a paint remover. It's mainly for sticky labels, Matambo. You can get it on Amazon, I think, and eBay. There we are. So it's not exactly the same finish on both sides, because this side is a smooth finish, and this side's got a slight sort of textured surface. But that is the colour it should be. You can see see the difference there. So there you go, top tip for all you Roberts owners, because there's quite a few that got a blue dial plate that you can turn over like that. So I'm going to give it a final wipe over with some isopropyl. Make sure it's clean. Also got to give this side a wipe over, because that's going to be stuck with double-sided tape. So yeah, you can there's a telltale sign that this radio's been left on Classic FM by the looks of it, fairly permanently. Can you see? If you look just there, you can see the square that was left by the tuning pointer, dial pointer. You can see the square where it's been in the same position all the time. So whoever owned this radio previously just listened to one station. Let's give the back plate there a bit of a going over, so I'll make sure we've got rid of all the tape residue. We gently do that one. Clean up of the knobs. Right, let's get some double-sided tape and stick this thing back on. You like it? This double-sided tape here is pretty good. It's 3M tape. Other brands are available. Zoff is what they use to remove anything sticky. Yeah, WD-40 works quite well. So what we need to do to this is stick that on there. Get some scissors and cut it off. And now we've got to cut around the edges. It doesn't really matter if you don't get this perfect, because once the dial plate is back on, you can't physically see this anyway. It's going to just stick to my scissors now, isn't it? It is pretty sticky stuff. A little bit there. So there we are. Our new dial face. Ready to go on. Just make sure it's nice and flat. No air bubbles. Peel the back off. A little bit. There we are. How about that? A bit different, isn't it? Sorted. Best choice for paint removal. What sort of paint are you trying to remove from a tambour? Fresh and new, not covered in poo. No, it was a bit of a poo brown, wasn't it? Yeah, that literally looks brand new. Because it's never seen the sunlight. It's obviously the sunlight that discolours them. Give it another little wipe because I've got finger marks all over it. Get the pointer out of the way. Yeah, there we go. One brand new backdrop. So we've got the tuning or dial plate. Let's give that a wipe over, see what it's like. I keep losing my wet wipes. I'm done with them now. I had them here earlier. Using them to clean up the bench. There we are. I need some new antibacterial wipes. So Rolf is the man for paint. If you watch any of Rolf's videos, he's always painting something. There we go, that's all the boogers and everything gone. Nice new dial plate, that. Actually, that don't look too bad. That doesn't look too bad at all. Let's get some blue roll. Some blue roll, give that. Yeah, I think we'll just give that a quick polish and we're job done. Gonna go eat your dinner, Rob. All right, mate. Catch you in a minute. So let's get just the fine scratch remover. I'm not going to go gouging it out. Going to use this stuff and So this isn't really heavily scratched. I don't need to put a load of it on, but this stuff is pretty good. It will just bring out the original shine in it, really. You could spend hours doing this on a dial plate, but I don't think it's necessary, really. Depends what sort of finish you want. If you want a brand new dial plate, then you could spend a couple hours on one of these. This just gets the surface scratching off. The heavy remover has got a slightly bigger grain in it, but T-cut works just as well for this, really. You know, I think this is pretty much all this is. This is like a T-cut type substance. Just a very fine cutting compound, really. So I think that's about as good as we're going to get for it. Make sure we remove all the stuff. There we go. Just get rid of that one with the stuff on it. Let's give it a squirt if I can find it with the... Where's the cleaner go? There we go. The polish. Clean plastic polishing cloth and give it a once over. There you are. Sorted. Just put that to one side. Let's get a little bit of oil. I'll use this because this is what I've got. Super lube. And put a little tiny drop on the volume pot spindle. Should be a little bit in there. Be careful, I don't want to get it on the dial. Yeah, it's not going to go on, is it? Stick it in the back. A little bit on the spindle of the tuning knob. So that's that. It can sit back on there now. Let's clean these two. T-cut's fine. Yeah, it's just like a cutting compound. T-Cut and the Ford Cortina Classics and TC. Yeah. Right, what am I looking for? Graham, what are you looking for now? More wet wipes. More wet wipes. Yeah, we're going to have to get some of these in the shopping tomorrow, I think. Do get through quite a few packs of these. Got one left, look. One left. Looks like someone's been sick on that. So sometimes you're lucky enough and you can turn these over. It depends how Roberts have made them. Some of them, they crimp one side of them, so you can't really turn them over, but these look pretty good. This is just aluminium in a laminated aluminium strip. Is that one? Nice. Mains voltage is sagging down to 240. Mine was 233 volts on Wednesday, George. Normally I've got a good 240 here. So yeah, it looks like these can be turned over, so I'll just use the best side facing up. Now I think the later one has slightly higher output. I think it's something like 1 watt as opposed to 0.75 for the early one. So in some ways the later one is slightly better. There we are. Knobs are going to have to go in the ultrasonic. I need another ultrasonic cleaner as well, really. Yeah, these knobs are not looking great. $210, Andy, believe it now. $250 volts. I mean, it used to be 230 in the UK, I think, didn't it? And then they upped it to 240. Right, now, can we get it back in without having to put it back in the case? I think we probably can. Better test it, haven't we? Because you know me, I touch stuff and then, you know, it's working, then all of a sudden it ain't working. Right, let's plug it back in. Oh, we got a broken off PP9 battery snap there, look. Just pop that one off. That used to belong to a battery. No more. Doesn't anymore. A friendly face now. What's that, Jeff? You'd be sick if you had to look at Roberts all day. Oh dear. Yeah, there's a long-standing Roberts hacker thing. I mean, obviously hacker is better made, without a doubt. Right. Now it's not latching. Why are you not latching, naughty switch? Just need an aerial. Zoom the camera a bit.
In that very zoo that I would.
So we've still got a scratchy tuning cap, but it still works. Just annoying. Usually just exercising it loads. You can see I'm just moving it back and forth to try and clear the corrosion on it. All it is little tiny aluminium discs wafered between bits of polythene. They're not great. I've took one apart before. It's thousands of pieces. Miniature screws, miniature washers. You need a microscope to take one of them apart.
But it was something to do. Mabel.
That's cleared it now, that. Good tune.
Direct. Thinking. Lovely. Off from
there you are. She's working. That switch is not latching properly for some reason. The on-off switch isn't latching very well. Let's have a quick look at that. Gavin, how you doing, mate? Steve, 7931. Joining the throng. Welcome, Steve. Stupid harmonized colours. What are we on about now, Harvey? Come on, get up there. Get up there. Oh. So, why isn't this latching properly? There is a problem with the latching mechanism. Let me get my eyes on it. the latchy on the on-off switch. Where are we? Here. See, there's a little tiny metal peg there. When you push the button in, that should jump. Yeah, it's not quite sat how it should be, I don't think. Let me just have a look. Where's my tweezers? Seems to be sitting there all right now. So you should push it, it's an on-off switch basically, so it should sort of go up and down, but it's not. I don't think it's catching on the dial plate, it might be. It might be catching on the dial plate, but it's not great, is it? I wonder if it needs a little bit of grease in there. Now, I've recently invested in some very good quality grease as well. SPG, Special Patrol Group. Special Plastics Grease. So this is for metal to plastic and plastic to plastic. It's made by Electrolube. And I basically bought it for cassette decks and for Walkmans. They do come apart. Yeah, I've looked at that, George, but no, it's not the dial plate. I'm just going to stick a little bit of grease in here, see if that helps it. It's got a very fine syringe on the end of this. I have bent it, but yeah, good stuff. Let's pop the dial plate off. I can give it a good ram in then. Yeah, see, it's still not quite going. Let's just get that grease in there. Okay, it could be the actual slot there. I mean, these, you can take some of them apart, but this is all plastic. So I've got a little bit of grease in there as well. There he goes. Where am I? Sorted. So yeah, good stuff. SPG works a treat. Whew. Okay, so that's pretty much it for that one now. So I will see if I can get that case glued up tomorrow daytime, and we'll have a look at it all finished. I'll stick these through the ultrasonic as well. Give them a good clean up. I don't know if I've got any other brights for these. I'll have a look at some of my other radios, see if I can pinch one off of a later Rambler. But that one's had a good old dink. This one's pretty good. Just needs a bit of a polish, but yeah, overall, that's all good. Got wax all over my bench still because I had to re-wax that Yaesu board. That's typical, isn't it? Now put it back together, it ain't working again. There he goes. Stick our aerial back in there. Clip back on. I'll chuck it back in the case for now. So we put it the right way around, Graham. The white way round. I'll say the case will need a good clean up anyway. Just putting it back in to save now these have got these annoying captive spire nuts, are they called? Certainly looks a bit better than before, doesn't it? Especially with its nice new aerial. I'm just going to pop the screws in it just to keep it in place. As I say, I'll dig it out again tomorrow and hopefully get it looking nice. Dear, oh dear, George. Always pushes the limits, our George. The sides are really, really dull as well, so they're going to need, I usually use that, what you may call it, on it, foam cleaner. Foam cleaner, strip the old finish right off of that. How are we doing for time? 15 minutes. So there we are. Does need a little bit of work, that one. Still, but I think that'll make someone a nice little radio. Just need to glue that case back together. can get a whole radio in it at once. Yeah, that sounds about the sort of thing that I'm after, George. I've got a little tiny one I got from Lidl's, I think it was. It's all right for little tiny components, but anything bigger is just a no-go, really. So there we are. That one's pretty much ready to go. If the on-off switch keeps working, which it is at the moment. I'm not going to push it too many times, it might stop working again. There we are. So that's the RFM3. As I say, we have got the early version to do as well, but as I say, we're only doing supposedly a 1 hour streamlet. Well, what time I came on at 5 and it's now 10 to 7. Look. So we'll do 2 hours. We'll go for 2 hours. So yeah, this one's more cosmetic. It needs a little bit of a service, and we also need to turn the plate on this one. If you look at the difference between the two now, you can see that this one is nice and clean looking. Well, that one's just a muddy sort of blue, really. When you take it off, you can see why, can't you? So there we are. 2 RFM3s. Now we've got more advent calendars to do now. So let's grab the first one. This one's a bit different as well. Let me go and get it a minute. I've got a mucky bench still. This is Mr. Man Cave Workshop donated this as a birthday present for me. Nice new cutting mat, look. Unfortunately, he's probably not long come home from work, so... Right, let's get the next one in. I used to love that, opening advent calendars as a kid. I mean, back when I was a kiddie, we didn't really have these advent calendars with things in them. As a kid, we didn't have the advent calendars with things in them. All you had was like a little window that you just peel back every day with a different picture of different sort of religious picture in behind each one. Or it could be anything really. So they made all sorts of different ones. But nowadays, it's amazing what they put as an advent calendar. I mean, I've got a beer advent calendar. I very nearly bought a cider advent calendar. It's one of the cider places up here does a cider advent calendar. That would be awesome. But Mrs. Cruncher had already very kindly done it. How does this work then? I'm just trying to see how this works. RC advent calendar. Oh, I see. Open here. Right. Okay. This is a monster. This is as big as the Weira calendar. Look at this thing. Now this has been very kindly sent to me by Mr. Robert Cross. So let's thank Robert Cross for that advent calendar. He's gone and had his tea now. Look, he's had to go and have his tea, and he's going to miss his advent calendar being opened. No mention of the bishop's finger. No, I've not had any finger in me for a while now. Not since the weekend, really. I'll make some room here because this thing is massive. So we've got a Technic. If you can remember, a couple of years ago I did the helicopter version. So Rob has sent me this monster. It says open. Seems a shame to peel it back, really. Oh, hang on, it's got a bit of sellotape. So what have we got then? Are we getting ready to find number one? Oh, this is massive numbers on this. Oh, God. There's a massive great guide on it as well. Down here. Number one then. First one to spot number one. You're back, Rob. It's your advent calendar. Well, it's mine that you bought me. So thank you very much for sending this in, Rob. So again, by the 24th, we should have enough kit to actually have a go at the car. Now, the helicopter only had a maiden flight in the kitchen. I flew it into the fridge freezer, and it was very unstable because of the bits that were missing in it, unfortunately. A wheel. A wheel? At the bottom right, yeah. Yeah, well, I might be a bit older than you, George. We only had the ones with the little cardboard things that hinged out. So here we go, number one. Well, that's a major bit. That looks like that's most of the chassis. And some screws. I don't think we've got anything to do to this, have we? Dren. Quick start guide. Dear children and parents, we recommend that you build the crawler together. Please do not over tighten the screws. This is a crawler. It's got Merry Christmas on the bonnet. I like that. Looks like 4 AA's. On off switch. This must be wheel axles. We've got a little oscillator in there, 12.005 megs. Plugins, we've got an IC. They've had a good go at erasing what that says. Let me see if I can see what that is. It looks like an MX 1919H, is it? I'm only 2 years older. It makes all the difference, George. Perhaps they phased them out. Or perhaps we just couldn't afford them. Couldn't afford the chocolate ones. So yeah, it's an MX 1919H. So there must be some sort of controller. I see we've got a little antenna there. Oh, you can't see. Let me get you in. Let me get you in closer. Because we have got the guts of it down here. So that little bit of blue wire is the antenna. That's all crystal. Whether that's for the remote control or not, I'm not sure. I've not really gone into these as to how they work. So it's 2.4 gigahertz by the looks of it. So maybe that is getting multiplied up by this to get it up to 2.4 gigs. Revel, Germany. So yeah, 4 AA's. Quite hard plastic. I would say that's ABS or something like that. So there we are. That's day one of the Revel remote control car advent calendar. So I'm going to need to find a little box for that as well now. It's massive. So thank you very much for that, Rob. And I look forward to opening more of those. Time being, it's going to go there. and park it over there. I've done a bit of a clear out today, so I've got a little bit of space on the bench now. 2 years older. 2 years older, 2 years wiser, George. It's a revel, it is a revel. Okay, let's get the other one. This next one is my birthday present from Mrs. Cruncher, which seems to be an annual thing now, which is great because I love them. Oh, you've got it. It's the Weira 2022 Advent Calendar. I say present from Mrs. Cruncher and the doggies, Coco and Maddie. Now I'll try and work out how to get the thing out of the box now, because it's actually in a box. So there's a box in a box. Okay, here we go. Anybody see number one on that? Coming number one. Anybody spot it? Oh, I can. Top corner. Well, up here. Left top. Top of the patio doors. Yes, it is. Got a new then. Ooh. Okay, so this is one of these like tool check things, isn't it? Well, that's a bit different. Different. A festive look, red and green as well. Love it. So yeah, it looks like we've got some sort of bit holder. We're a bit check. So I've got some bit check stuff down here. So I can't get it out now. But yeah, basically all your bits go in there. My other one's got like a little spanner and that in it, but rust free. I take it that means rust free. But I do like the little Christmas tree. I like that. I like the Christmas tree. Left top. No, the pussy cat, George, is after the screwdriver. It's definitely rust free, isn't it? I mean, it's that ain't gonna rust. So there you are. That's the Weira Advent Calendar. Lots more to come. It's got on the back pictures of them through the year, so you can't quite see that. You can if I hold it up here. So I think this is the fourth one I've had. This is 4 years on the trot. Mrs. Cruncher's bought me that for my birthday, so thank you very much, Mrs. Cruncher. We haven't had a lot of Christmas music, have we? Let's get that back on again a minute. Got to have a bit of Christmas music in the background, haven't you? Voltage is back up now. The sport balls ended. Danish, how you doing, mate? Snow coming tomorrow. George's must be in a festive mood. Well, there you are. That's pretty much the end of today's stream. There we are, just gone 7, so that's pretty good. Managed to do 2 hours. It's ramping up now. 2 hours, 4 advent calendars, and a radio fixed. That's not too bad, is it? You're procrastinating, George, are you? What's that mean? Anyway, that's it for now. Thanks everybody for the super chats as well. Much appreciated. As always, and thanks to everybody that sent me bits. And Rich has sent me, the secret engineer has sent me a, I was going to say wobulator then, but a Wowen flutter meter, which arrived today. So I've not had a chance to do anything with that. So I will be getting that out at some stage and having to play with that. Cheers, Theo. Thanks, Matambo. So hope you've enjoyed that. Don't forget, give it a thumbs up. And if you're not a Patreon, then have a look. You might be surprised. We've got 1 new Patreon this week as well. He's avoiding doing something. Anyway, that's it for now. I'll see you. It'll be a little bit later. No, sorry, a little bit earlier tomorrow because I've got darts tomorrow night. So, yeah. Catch you then. Bye for now.